Listen, I'm upset with him. He shouldn't have been involved in no pro wrestling shit.
And let me tell you something. You're handling it well.
I'm trying.
Be a father. Be there for your son. Watch highest to lowest.
You're right.
And I'll tell you, it'll tell you.
News of Syko Stu's latest injury has shaken the wrestling world, coming on the heels of his violent encounter with Roger Jackson, the son of MMA legend Quinton "Rampage" Jackson.
What's your name? From the husband. For real? You know him? You know Roger? How you know Roger? Shut the fuck up. That nigga just started streaming. He just started streaming like. That's crazy. My son. That nigga was streaming. He was streaming for like 3 days. Not no more. He done.
I saw what happened, but he's like.
Nah, he done.
There's always a comeback.
Nah, that nigga ain't coming back. Nah, he ain't coming back. Nah, he ain't coming back. Streaming ain't forever.
What started as a routine Knox pro wrestling event in California quickly escalated into one of the most shocking incidents the sport has witnessed in years. Stuart Smith, known to fans as Syko Steve, has finally been released from the hospital after weeks of treatment. Yet questions remain, as details about his condition and the aftermath of the incident continue to spark debate among fans, fellow wrestlers, and even MMA figures about what really went down and what lies ahead.
When we're in the ring and I'm breaking it up and he shoots a double leg on me, by the way, work a better double leg, you prick. And then I'm telling you to calm down. I'm not even fighting. I'm not even being hostile. Then you're trying to work and get lower, do this, change positions, and I'm over here having to swim with you, all this other shit. And then you punch me in the eye. After we're breaking it up, you loser. That's why you got headbutt, and that's why I punch you, and you're lucky I was tired from the match before this. What kind of person are you? You low-life clown. You want clout, so you beat up a guy that's half unconscious. You punch a guy that's trying to break up a fight and not even trying to fight you. I wasn't even trying to hurt you. The is wrong with you?
So, do you think he wanted to continue beating up Stu?
I think he would have killed him.
If you didn't stop it, right?
I promise you he would have killed him. He would have killed me if he would have got the best of me. If he would have took my legs out from under me like he was trying to, he was going to do the same thing to me that he did to Stu. Clearly, you watched the stream when he's walking away. I'm tired of people with me. I don't care how many times you've been fingered in your life, bro. I don't give a fuck. If you got a problem with the world and the people around you, change your people around you. Change it up a little bit. Go to therapy. Get some help. Don't take it out on everybody else. And then you want to train by one of the best fighters to ever live, your father, use his clout, use his knowledge, and then you want to hurt people that don't train like that? You're a bully. You're a bitch.
Smith broke his silence with a major social media update, revealing that he'd finally been released from the hospital and was recovering at home. The injuries he sustained were extensive. Doctors reported severe trauma to his face and head, including multiple fractures to his maxilla, deep lacerations around his mouth, damage to both jaws, and the loss of several teeth. When first admitted, he was unconscious, underscoring just how serious the attack had been. Despite the long road to recovery ahead, his family said he remains in good spirits, lifted by the overwhelming support, donations, and well wishes pouring in from fans around the world. The chain of events began outside the ring, long before the spotlight hit. A video circulated online showing Smith smashing a beer can over Jackson's head, something that looked staged but clearly struck a nerve. Another clip later showed Smith apologizing, suggesting the two had smoothed things over. But that truce didn't last. Once they entered the ring, Jackson snapped. Abandoning the script, he slammed Smith to the mat with full force and followed up with a brutal barrage. More than 20 unprotected punches as Smith lay defenseless on the canvas.
Everybody playing with me, bro.
You need to be worried about Syko Stu.
Syko Stu?
What, you don't know me?
Hell no.
He's not a fucking worker, bro.
I will him up, bro.
I apologize.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know. I thought you were a worker.
If we're not working out, well, he's gonna come out on your mat. So I know you keep thinking we're working. We're always working. So we'll set it up. I'll have him come out during your mat so we can seal the whole thing.
It's not gonna be scripted when I get in there. It's not gonna be scripted, guys. They told me to hit him and just leave. Somebody who pulled me off of him will leave. I'm telling you, I'm gonna hit him as many times as you can. Watch.
Police were called to the scene immediately, and Los Angeles authorities later confirmed that Jackson was under investigation. Knox Pro Wrestling Academy, the promotion behind the event, released a strong statement condemning the incident. They emphasized that the assault was in no way part of the show, labeling Jackson's actions reckless and disgraceful. In nearly 20 years of hosting events, the Academy said they had never encountered anything so dangerous or damaging to their reputation. Fans in attendance were left in shock, with many pointing out how disturbing the moment was, especially for the children who witnessed it live.
Is potentially facing up to 10 years in prison.
Roger Jackson, the 25-year-old son of Rampage Jackson, is under investigation after a brutal attack on a pro wrestler. The incident, which was caught on Roger's kick stream, shows him slamming and then punching the wrestler over 20 times.
And this situation stemmed from a few hours earlier. Roger was backstage with all the other wrestlers. Obviously, they saw the kick stream going on. They wanted to make a show and make a moment. Syko Stu, the wrestler, slammed a prop beer can on his head, obviously provoking Roger. Updates from the friends and family say that Stu is okay. He is in stable condition.
The real question that the internet wants to know is Raja going to jail, and for how long? Now, we're no lawyers, but in the state of California in which this case happened, aggravated battery is up to 1 year in jail. If it gets upgraded to a felony, it's 2 to 4 years in jail. In the most serious cases, if the victim suffered a great bodily injury, the additional prison time is 3 to 6 years. Could potentially be up to 10 years in jail. Is that too much? Does Raja deserve any jail time at all?
The consequences for Roger Jackson came fast. At just 25 years old and still early in his wrestling journey, he suddenly became one of the most infamous names in the industry, for all the wrong reasons. Knox immediately issued a lifetime ban, forbidding him from ever performing at their events again. But in a move that shocked many, San Diego-based Danger Pro Wrestling announced plans to feature Jackson at an upcoming show. The decision sparked instant backlash, with reports noting that Danger Pro has previously tried to present itself as having WWE developmental ties. The announcement drew outrage and disbelief across the community, especially given that Jackson was still under police investigation and had just put another performer in the hospital.
If this is real, then the world may be crumbling around us. Raja Jackson just brutally assaulted Syko Stu last weekend at a wrestling event in California, and now it looks like a new promotion has picked up Rampage's son to wrestle again. Will this young man face any consequence?
Even Roger's father, Quinton Rampage Jackson, addressed the controversy during a live stream. The former UFC light heavyweight champion didn't attempt to defend his son's actions. In fact, he admitted outright that what happened was inexcusable and should be handled through proper justice. Rampage, visibly torn between his role as a father and as a public figure, said he wished he had been present that night and even expressed a desire to personally meet Syko Stu one day to apologize on his son's behalf. While his words carried remorse, he also stressed that Roger's behavior was his responsibility alone.
Hopefully one day I can meet Syko Stu and shake his hand and have a man-to-man with him and stuff like that, but who knows. But y'all, the people that know me, y'all know I got mad love for everyone.
While outrage poured in from much of the wrestling community, not everyone saw the incident the same way. WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry offered a more controversial perspective, suggesting that Smith carried some of the blame. Henry pointed to the earlier beer can incident, arguing that it may have provoked Jackson into losing his composure. Though he acknowledged Jackson should have upheld professionalism and not let his temper dictate his actions, Henry implied that Smith had taken on more than he could handle. His remarks sparked backlash online, with many fans calling them tone-deaf given the seriousness of Smith's injuries.
I didn't like the ribbing, I didn't like the joking, and anybody that talked to me that I didn't think was worthy of having that kind of aggressive conversation, they got that word. And, I don't know the full story, but I do know what I saw. And it looked like he wasn't smart to what was going on. And the dude that was messing with him bit off more than he can chew. And, you got to be careful, one, who you mess with, and two, what kind of example are you as a veteran for inciting a ride with a kid? He's not 12 or nothing, but he's still significantly younger. And, you want to make sure that...
Other voices from the combat sports world also weighed in. Dillon Danis reacted after seeing the viral footage, calling the assault both shocking and unnecessary. He stressed that professional wrestling is built on trust, with performers relying on one another to protect their bodies. In Danis's view, Jackson shattered that trust by throwing punches with the intent to cause real harm. He explained that wrestlers willingly put themselves in vulnerable positions under the assumption of cooperation, and to break that pact was not only a betrayal to wrestling but also an insult to MMA as a whole. Despite his respect for Rampage Jackson, Danis made it clear that Roger's actions were disgraceful and undeserving of any excuse.
What's your take on this Raja Jackson video that came out? Because it seems like that's caught kind of not just in the wrestling world, but like everyone is caught.
To be honest, it's hard to watch, but in a way, it's like he might have something like wrong with like maybe like anger problems, because like why would he do that, you know? And anybody that has trained or anybody has a brain knows when someone's working or someone's like, and like that would be like me going with you right now and you're like, oh, I'm gonna pick you up and we're working, we're doing a WWE match. Like you could slam me in my head, like I'm giving you my weight, you know what I mean? So like the guy obviously let him pick him up, and then slamming him like that is ridiculous. First off, especially being a guy that's trained. I know he's only 0-1, but like slamming the guy like that first off is ridiculous. Like any person in WWE can do that to each other. You know, it doesn't. That's not anything like people are acting like, oh, that's Rampage Jr. or something like that. Like the guy jumped up for you to carry his weight, and he's trusting you to take care of his body. You know what I mean? And then he's throwing those shots, and like I get you can kind of lay one in, like you know what I mean. I can hit you like that, but not even. But the first one was like a fucking haymaker. He's trying to like kill the guy, and like it's just sad. Like I don't understand what happened. Like it's hard to explain what happened, and it looks bad for us too. You know what I mean? Like anybody could do that. Like I can go in the ring in WWE and do that. Like why I do that? No. Like you're supposed to have a trust, and that's a different sport. It's a pro wrestling. You know, it'd be different if he said, "Hey, come in here, I fucking kid. Like fuck you. Like I like really want to fight you." You know, and then yeah, beat the shit out of the fucking guy. But it didn't seem like that. Like he did the prop can. He's saying that, but then he apologized, and like. Is this kid? I mean, I don't know.
If dude had like PTSD, it was like
oh, so sad. It's so sad. I was actually gonna offer to help him, like with money and maybe training. Like, and then he shot on the other guy. He coming through the other.
Former fighter and podcast host Brendan Schaub also gave his take, but his comments quickly drew backlash from fans. Schaub admitted that his first instinct was to defend Roger out of loyalty to his friendship with Rampage. However, after watching the footage, he acknowledged there was no justifying the assault. He pointed out that Roger's career, still in its infancy, now hangs by a thread, and if Syko Stu chose to press charges, the young wrestler could be facing serious legal trouble, even charges as severe as attempted murder. Still, Schaub's focus on Jackson's future rather than Stu's suffering struck a nerve with many fans, who accuse him of sympathizing with the attacker instead of centering the victim's need for justice.
Be transparent. I like Raja, and obviously I adore Rampage. Me and Rampage have a great relationship. I love Rampage. And it's just by nature, my initial thought was when I heard about this, and I spoke with Rampage, when I heard about this, I went, all right, how can I defend Raja? I look at all the videos, I watched the full live stream and all that. I got nothing. I got nothing. I can't, you can't defend this. I see this, it's so sad. Because he was just getting started, and that all goes away if this veteran pro wrestler decides to press charges. That pro wrestler goes, this was a bit or this was a work, and he just thought that's how it works. I'm not pressing charges. Raja's still gonna take a lot of heat online, but you're not doing jail time. Then we can figure it out. But if that dude wakes up and somebody's in his ear and goes, dude, you gotta make this dude pay. He has to learn a lesson and he presses charges. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough. Attempted murder, aggravated assault.
Rob Van Dam offered a more sobering perspective, suggesting that as terrible as the incident was, it might ultimately prevent something even worse down the road. In his view, Jackson's outburst exposed deep anger management issues that, if left unchecked, could have led to an even more tragic situation in the future. Van Dam acknowledged that jail time was a real possibility, depending on the extent of Stu's injuries and how prosecutors choose to move forward. He argued that the punishment should reflect not only Jackson's actions, but also the lasting consequences Smith will have to endure, something that could end up shaping the entire case.
First off, I don't agree that he went off script. He said he was going to mess Stu up in front of him, from what I can tell. I mean, from what I can see, the apology was only made in the handshake, not because they were cool, not because they're friends now. Fucking Raja still seemed very upset, and he seemed like he was only doing it under the condition that he could go in the ring and fuck him up. So, should he be arrested for that? I mean, I'm not obviously a legal professional. And I go back to, I guess the charge would be an aggravated degree of assault. And you know what? Maybe putting that guy in jail might prevent somebody down the road from getting hurt.
The wrestling community remains deeply divided over the saga. Some argue that Jackson should be given a path to redemption through counseling or anger management, while others believe his attack crossed an unforgivable line, especially given that children witnessed it live and another performer nearly lost his life. The controversy has only grown louder with Danger Pro Wrestling teasing Jackson's return, leaving many to question whether promotions are exploiting the incident for attention rather than prioritizing safety and accountability.
End of discussion. You are a dumb animal that does not belong in society. You have forfeited that right because you have proven yourself as an unevolved human. Go sit in a cage for 30 to 40 years where you belong, you dumb animal. End of discussion. That is attempted murder.
Ooh, yeah, no, those are full on, like, I'm fucking beating the you punches.
Yeah, right.
Those were brutal.
Did you see the slam?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So what do you think? Like, here's
the Lapped investigation is still underway, and until charges are formally filed, Roger Jackson's future remains uncertain. Whether the outcome is prison time, probation, or simply a permanent stain in the court of public opinion, one thing is undeniable: his career will always be linked to this incident. For many fans, it will be impossible to see his name without recalling the night when scripted entertainment spiraled into real violence, and a fellow performer came dangerously close to losing his life.